Welcome back to our chilling series, where we delve into the shadowy corners of history and uncover stories that defy the boundaries of life and death. In this fifth episode of Most Haunted Cemeteries in the World, we journey into the sacred grounds where the living and the dead collide, a place meant for eternal rest but often disturbed by restless spirits. From ancient burial grounds steeped in mysticism to modern cemeteries cloaked in urban legends, these hallowed sites hold more than just graves. They are repositories of human memory, sorrow, and unresolved mysteries. Cemeteries have long been symbols of finality, places where the past is laid to rest beneath weathered headstones and crumbling mausoleums. Yet, for many, these silent spaces harbor secrets too profound to remain buried. Across cultures and continents, tales of spectral encounters, disembodied voices, and eerie phenomena abound, suggesting that some souls refuse to move on. Whether driven by unfinished business, tragic love stories, or untimely deaths, the spirits lingering in these cemeteries seem bound to their earthly resting places, forever caught between worlds. In this episode, we'll explore some of the most infamous haunted cemeteries around the globe, places steeped in lore and fear, where the veil between the living and the dead grows thin. We'll peer into the shadowy depths of crypts where ghostly apparitions roam, tread cautiously through overgrown pathways lined with forgotten tombs, and uncover the tragic histories that give rise to these hauntings. Along the way, we'll hear first-hand accounts from witnesses brave enough to confront the unknown, examine chilling evidence captured by paranormal investigators, and unravel the stories of those who refuse to fade into oblivion. So dim the lights, keep your ears sharp, and prepare yourself for a descent into the macabre. As we step into the haunted heart of these cemeteries, remember, sometimes, the most terrifying truths lie just beyond the veil, and once you cross it, there's no turning back. Père Lachaise Cemetery, Paris. Eerie Elysium. Nestled in the bustling city of Paris, France, Père Lachaise Cemetery stands as both an architectural marvel and a repository of restless spirits. Established in 1804, this sprawling necropolis spans 110 acres and is home to over 1 million graves, making it one of the largest cemeteries in Europe. Its labyrinthine pathways wind past towering mausoleums, ornate sculptures, and ivy-covered tombstones, creating an atmosphere that is equal parts serene and sinister. While it serves as the final resting place for luminaries such as Oscar Wilde, Jim Morrison, and Edith Piaf, Père Lachaise also harbors countless tales of spectral encounters that have earned it a reputation as one of the world's most haunted cemeteries. One of the most enduring legends tied to Père Lachaise involves the grave of Victor Noir, a 19th-century journalist whose life was tragically cut short during a duel. His bronze statue, depicting him lying peacefully with his hat askew and a bullet hole visible in his chest, has become a site of pilgrimage for visitors seeking good fortune and love. According to local lore, placing a kiss on the statue's lips ensures fertility and romantic success. However, the area surrounding Noir's grave is said to be haunted by his spirit, which lingers in frustration over his untimely demise. Visitors report hearing faint whispers emanating from the statue, as though Noir is pleading for justice or closure. Others claim to feel icy breath on their necks as they approach, only to turn and find no one there. Another prominent figure in the cemetery's haunted lore is believed to be François Arago, a renowned French mathematician and astronomer buried in a modest plot near the northern edge of the grounds. Paranormal investigators exploring the cemetery have captured EVP recordings suggesting the presence of a male entity reciting mathematical equations in fragmented tones. Witnesses describe seeing a shadowy figure pacing anxiously near Arago's grave, clutching what appears to be a notebook before vanishing without a trace. Some speculate that Arago's restless spirit remains tethered to his unfinished work, unable, or unwilling, to leave behind the intellectual pursuits that defined his life. The cemetery's catacombs, accessible via hidden tunnels beneath certain mausoleums, have also gained a reputation for paranormal activity. Employees tasked with maintaining the grounds often describe hearing muffled voices and the sound of footsteps echoing through the narrow passageways, though no one else is present. Objects are known to move inexplicably. Tools vanish only to reappear hours later in entirely different locations. One particularly unnerving incident involved a caretaker who swore he saw a young girl playing with marbles in the corner of a crypt, only for the child to disappear when approached. Theories abound that the girl may have been a victim of illness or accident during the cemetery's early years, forever trapped in the confines of its lower levels. Modern-day investigations into Père Lachaise' supernatural claims have yielded intriguing results. Thermal imaging cameras reveal significant temperature drops in specific areas, including the vicinity of Victor Noir's statue and the catacombs. Electromagnetic field (EMF) meters register unusual spikes, particularly near older grave sites believed to predate the cemetery's official establishment. Perhaps the most compelling evidence comes from audio recordings, which capture disembodied voices uttering fragmented sentences like, "I'm sorry," and "Let me go." Despite, or perhaps because of, its haunted reputation, Père Lachaise continues to attract curious souls eager to confront its spectral inhabitants. For many, visiting the site serves as both a pilgrimage and a reckoning, an opportunity to honor the lives lost and acknowledge the systemic failures that led to such immense suffering. Whether you're drawn by the allure of its haunting beauty or the weight of its tragic legacy, Père Lachaise offers an unforgettable experience where the past refuses to fade quietly into oblivion. Highgate Cemetery, London's Gothic labyrinth perched atop a hill in North London, Highgate Cemetery stands as a testament to Victorian-era opulence and melancholy. A sprawling necropolis that blends architectural grandeur with an air of perpetual gloom. Established in 1839, the cemetery quickly became a favored burial ground for London's elite, its lush gardens and intricate monuments earning it the nickname, the City of the Dead. Yet beneath its picturesque facade lies a darker narrative, one steeped in ghostly legends, occult rituals, and spectral encounters that have cemented its status as one of the most haunted cemeteries in the world. One of the most pervasive legends tied to Highgate involves the so-called Highgate vampire, a mythical creature rumored to haunt the eastern section of the cemetery. According to local folklore, the vampire first appeared in the late 1960s, terrorizing nearby residents and leaving behind a trail of inexplicable animal deaths. Paranormal investigators and amateur occultists flocked to the site, conducting seances and attempting to summon the entity. While skeptics dismissed the vampire as a fabrication fueled by media hype, visitors to Highgate report strange occurrences that defy logical explanation. Shadows flit across peripheral vision, disappearing when directly observed. Others claim to feel an oppressive weight pressing down on them as they explore the cemetery's overgrown pathways, while some swear they've seen glowing red eyes peering out from the darkness. Another haunting figure associated with Highgate is believed to be Elizabeth Siddal, the muse and wife of Pre-Raphaelite painter Dante Gabriel Rossetti. Buried in the western section of the cemetery, Siddal's life was marked by personal struggles and mental health issues exacerbated by her tumultuous relationship with Rossetti. Her death in 1862 sent shockwaves through the artistic community, and her memory has since become intertwined with the fabric of Highgate. Guests visiting the cemetery report seeing a pale woman in a flowing gown gliding silently through the mist, her translucent form illuminated by dim light. Some claim to feel an icy draft pass through them as she drifts by, while others report hearing soft humming emanating from empty crypts, believed to be Siddal communing with the spirits of other artists buried nearby. Adding to the cemetery's haunted allure are the countless gatherings and ceremonies that took place within its walls during its heyday. Many believe residual energy from these events remains trapped within the crumbling mausoleums, manifesting as phantom sounds of laughter, music, and conversation. At night, when the cemetery is bathed in moonlight, some visitors swear they can hear the distant strains of a piano and the low murmur of revelry, as though a party from another era continues to unfold. Paranormal investigators exploring Highgate Cemetery have captured compelling evidence of its supernatural activity. Thermal cameras reveal cold spots concentrated near the entrance gates and the catacombs, where many of the tragedies unfolded. Audio recordings pick up fragmented phrases like "help me" and "don't let go," delivered in tones of sheer desperation. One particularly unsettling discovery came when a team member set up motion-activated cameras overnight, capturing footage of a translucent figure standing motionless at the midpoint of the staircase before vanishing without explanation. Despite, or perhaps because of, its haunted reputation, Highgate Cemetery remains a popular destination for tourists and locals alike. Its picturesque setting and rich history make it a favorite spot for photography and leisurely strolls. For those brave enough to venture inside after dark, the promise of encountering Elizabeth Siddal or one of the countless other spirits said to linger adds an element of fascination and trepidation. Yet, as each new visitor steps onto the creaking floorboards, they must ask themselves, are they prepared to face the echoes of the past? Or will they become another chapter in the mansion's macabre legacy? Recoleta Cemetery, Buenos Aires. Silent specters nestled in the heart of Buenos Aires, Argentina, Recoleta Cemetery stands as a testament to the enduring power of memory and legacy, a sprawling necropolis that blends architectural splendor with an air of quiet solemnity. Established in 1822, the cemetery is home to over 6,400 elaborate mausoleums, many of which rival small palaces in their grandeur. Among its most famous residents is Eva Perón, the iconic First Lady of Argentina, whose tomb draws thousands of visitors each year. Yet, beyond its polished marble facades and intricate ironwork lies a darker narrative, one steeped in ghostly legends, spectral encounters, and unexplained phenomena that have earned Recoleta a reputation as one of the most haunted cemeteries in the world. One of the most persistent legends tied to Recoleta involves the mausoleum of Rufina Cambaceres, a young socialite whose tragic death in 1902 shocked Buenos Aires high society. According to local lore, Cambaceres fell unconscious at her own birthday party and was mistakenly declared dead. She was interred in the family crypt, only for caretakers to discover days later that she had clawed at the coffin lid in a desperate attempt to escape. Decades later, visitors exploring the cemetery report seeing a translucent figure resembling Cambaceres wandering the pathways, her hollow eyes fixed on some unseen point in the distance. Others describe hearing faint scratching sounds emanating from the mausoleum, accompanied by anguished cries that send chills down the spine. Another haunting hotspot within Recoleta is the tomb of Liliana Crociati de Zasek, a young bride who died tragically in 1970 while on her honeymoon in Austria. Her grieving parents erected an elaborate memorial complete with life-size statues of Liliana and her beloved dog, Sabu. Visitors to the site report seeing the statue of Liliana shift positions, as though she is stepping forward to greet them. Others claim to hear the faint jingle of a dog's collar, followed by the sound of paws padding softly against the stone pathway. Some believe that Liliana's spirit lingers due to her untimely death, unable, or unwilling, to part ways with the world she left behind. The cemetery's central plaza, surrounded by towering mausoleums and adorned with statues of angels and saints, has also gained a reputation for paranormal activity. Visitors walking among the weathered headstones often feel an inexplicable sense of dread, as though unseen eyes are watching their every move. Shadows flit across peripheral vision, disappearing when directly observed. Some claim to hear disembodied voices calling out names unfamiliar to modern ears, believed to be the voices of soldiers and civilians buried without proper markers. Others report seeing apparitions of men and women in period clothing, their faces gaunt and weary, standing silently amidst the graves. Paranormal investigators exploring Recoleta Cemetery have documented numerous instances of unexplained phenomena. EMF detectors routinely spike in certain areas, particularly near the mausoleums of Cambaceres and Crociati. EVP recordings capture faint whispers pleading for help, interspersed with anguished cries. One investigator captured a chilling photograph of a translucent figure standing atop the roof of one of the larger tombs, its hands raised as if begging for mercy. These findings have solidified Recoleta's reputation as one of the most active haunted sites in South America. Despite, or perhaps because of, its grim history, Recoleta continues to attract curious souls eager to confront its spectral inhabitants. For many, visiting the site serves as both a pilgrimage and a reckoning, an opportunity to honor the lives lost and acknowledge the sacrifices made in pursuit of unity. Whether you're drawn by the allure of its haunting beauty or the weight of its tragic legacy, Recoleta offers an unforgettable experience where the past refuses to fade quietly into oblivion. Patterns across haunted cemeteries, themes of tragedy and resilience as we traverse the haunted landscapes of cemeteries, from the opulent halls of Père Lachaise to the somber grounds of Highgate. Striking similarities emerge that transcend individual locations and histories. These patterns are not merely coincidental but reflect universal themes of human emotion, unresolved trauma, and the enduring power of memory. From the wailing wards of hospitals to the shadowed basements of monuments, these sites share a commonality that binds them together in a spectral sisterhood of sorrow and suspense. One recurring motif is the concept of unfinished business. Whether it's the victims of unethical experiments, or the betrayed trust of patients subjected to inhumane treatments, these spirits seem tethered to the earthly realm by grievances left unaddressed. Their presence manifests as restless energy, often communicated through auditory phenomena, cries, whispers, or disembodied voices, that serve as pleas for acknowledgement or closure. This theme resonates across cultures and belief systems, reflecting humanity's innate need to resolve conflict and seek peace, even in death. Another shared characteristic is the role of architecture in amplifying paranormal activity. Historic buildings, with their labyrinthine corridors, thick walls, and hidden alcoves, create environments conducive to isolating individuals and heightening fear. These structural elements act as metaphors for the psychological barriers erected by those who suffered within their confines, trapping emotions such as anger, despair, and regret. It's no coincidence that many reported hauntings occur in spaces imbued with emotional significance: operating rooms where surgeries went awry, basements where bodies were stored, or wards where patients met tragic ends. Lighting and sensory manipulation also feature prominently in these narratives. Flickering lights, sudden temperature drops, and inexplicable odors are staples of ghostly encounters, designed to disorient and unsettle. Such phenomena strip away the comfort of familiarity, forcing guests to confront the unknown. The use of mirrors, a recurring element in stories from various haunted hospitals, adds another layer of psychological tension, as reflections distort perception and blur the boundary between self and other. This interplay of light and shadow becomes a tool wielded by unseen forces, creating moments of visceral terror that linger long after the initial shock subsides. Finally, the prevalence of historical context cannot be overstated. Each location's haunting is deeply rooted in its unique past, shaped by the socio-cultural milieu of its time. The brutal medical practices embedded in the DNA of older establishments contrast sharply with the glamorous yet tragic lives immortalized in urban legends. Yet both narratives tap into broader archetypes of ambition, betrayal, and mortality, ensuring their resonance with audiences regardless of personal experience. By drawing on these universal motifs, these haunted places transform from mere buildings into living repositories of collective memory, inviting us to peer into the abyss of our shared humanity. Thus, while each establishment boasts its own distinct flavor of fright, the underlying threads connecting them reveal a tapestry rich with meaning. These patterns remind us that the supernatural is not so much about the entities themselves but the stories they tell, the echoes of lives interrupted, passions extinguished, and truths obscured. As we continue to explore these haunted locales, we find ourselves grappling not only with the specters of the past but with the timeless questions they raise about life, death, and everything in between. What is it about haunted cemeteries that grips our imaginations so profoundly? Beyond the creaking floorboards and flickering lights lies a deeper allure, one rooted in the psychology of fear and the human fascination with the unknown. These sites, by their very nature, are places of vulnerability. They are where we confront our mortality, stripped of autonomy and control, relying entirely on the expertise of others to heal us, or where justice was denied, leaving wounds that refuse to heal. When these spaces become haunted, they amplify our primal fears, transforming familiar settings into arenas of existential dread. The combination of historical context, architectural design, and the lingering presence of past suffering creates a perfect storm of terror that resonates deeply within us. At the core of this captivation is the concept of liminality, the state of being on the threshold between two worlds. Haunted places exist in this liminal space, bridging life and death, health and illness, hope and despair. This inherent duality makes them fertile ground for supernatural narratives. Ghosts, as manifestations of unresolved trauma or unfinished business, embody the tension of being caught between states. They serve as reminders that the boundaries we construct, between life and afterlife, sanity and madness, are far more permeable than we'd like to believe. For many, Visiting a haunted site feels like stepping into a twilight zone where the rules of reality no longer apply, igniting both curiosity and unease. Architecturally, haunted places contribute to this atmosphere of dread through their design. Long, sterile hallways lined with identical doors create a sense of disorientation, while poor lighting and echoing acoustics heighten sensory awareness. These features mimic the psychological effects of anxiety and claustrophobia, making even mundane sounds, a distant cough, the hum of fluorescent lights, feel ominous. The labyrinthine layouts of older structures, with their hidden wings and underground tunnels, evoke feelings of entrapment and uncertainty. Every corner becomes a potential threat, every shadow a possible harbinger of danger. This environmental manipulation taps into our instinctual fight-or-flight response, keeping us perpetually on edge. Cultural influences also play a significant role in shaping our fascination with haunted places. Media representations, from films like The Shining to television series such as American Horror Story, have cemented the trope of the haunted asylum, courthouse, or battlefield as a locus of horror. These portrayals often blend historical truths with fictional embellishments, creating a mythology that blurs fact and fiction. Audiences are drawn to these stories because they reflect societal anxieties about institutional power, systemic injustice, and the fragility of the human mind. Haunted places become microcosms of larger fears: the loss of agency, the misuse of authority, and the haunting specter of mistakes made in the name of progress. Moreover, haunted places appeal to our desire for catharsis. Engaging with these tales allows us to process our own fears about mortality, injustice, and the flaws inherent in systems meant to protect us. By confronting ghostly apparitions and unexplained phenomena, we externalize internal anxieties, transforming abstract fears into tangible adversaries. This vicarious experience provides a safe outlet for exploring the darker aspects of human existence, offering both thrill and relief. It's no wonder that ghost tours and paranormal investigations of haunted places attract participants eager to test their courage against the unknown. Ultimately, the enduring allure of haunted places lies in their ability to mirror our deepest fears while challenging our understanding of reality. They remind us that the past is never truly buried, that pain and injustice leave indelible marks on both people and places. As we walk their haunted halls, we are forced to confront not only the spirits said to inhabit them but also the ghosts within ourselves, the regrets, doubts, and unanswered questions that linger long after the wounds have healed. In doing so, we find a strange comfort in knowing that we are not alone in our fears, that others have walked these same paths and emerged, shaken but alive, to tell their stories. As we bring this chilling journey through the most haunted cemeteries in the world to a close, one thing becomes abundantly clear: the spirits of the past refuse to be silenced. Each creaking floorboard, each whispered name, and each fleeting shadow serves as a testament to lives lived, lost, and lingering in the spaces we dare to call haunted. These stories are more than mere campfire tales. They are fragments of history, stitched together by human emotion, tragedy, and the relentless passage of time. They remind us that the line between the living and the dead is far thinner than we might believe, and that sometimes the most terrifying truths lie just beyond the veil. But why stop here? If these accounts have stirred something within you, a spark of curiosity, a shiver of excitement, I urge you to take the next step. Visit one of these haunted cemeteries yourself. Walk the same fields where soldiers once fought, stand in the rooms where history's echoes reverberate, and let the unknown brush against your senses. Whether you're a skeptic seeking proof or a believer eager to commune with the other side, these forsaken institutions offer an unparalleled opportunity to confront the mysteries that lie just beyond comprehension. There's nothing quite like experiencing the weight of decades-old despair firsthand, feeling the chill of a presence that defies explanation, or hearing the faint strains of voices from another time. And when you return, share your story. Did you feel the icy touch of a ghostly hand? Hear the faint tap of footsteps in an empty corridor? Or perhaps nothing happened at all, but isn't that silence just as intriguing? Your experiences add to the rich tapestry of lore surrounding these haunted places, ensuring their legacies endure for generations to come. Share your findings with fellow enthusiasts, document your journey, and keep the conversation alive. After all, Every whisper contributes to the symphony of the supernatural. Until then, keep your lanterns lit and your courage steady. The spirits are waiting.